Hello everyone, this is Vegas Vic 1965, and what you're looking at behind me is the old standard iron farm that we're all so used to, both in Java and Bedrock versions. It's a 18 by 18 water pathway, 20 by 20 total, and it's got villager pods on each side containing 5 villagers. Right now in 1.11 and also Java 1.14, they've stopped working, as probably most of you are aware of by now. In Bedrock 1.11, they're still working on the mechanics. It's not completely understood just yet. But I have a fix that will work both in Java and Bedrock to convert your existing iron farm instead of creating a brand new one that will work and provide you the iron that you need. So without further ado, let's find out. Welcome back. Well, before I get started, I wanted to give a shout out to Silentwhisperer, who has a new iron farm design. Again, he's still unsure of all the mechanics as well as me. And he had mentioned DB8035, who had done some extensive testing on this. And I wanted to thank both of them for their hard work. What I am doing is not reinventing the wheel. I'm taking an existing iron farm that we had, that you may have used in your own worlds, and I'm going to convert it. Instead of just abandoning it and starting a new one, I figured I'd try and do a conversion. It does provide the iron that you need. Now, Silentwhisperer had gone over his design. I think it's a wonderful design. My only concerns are if they decide to change anything like workstations or beds, requirements that they need to sleep in. That may or may not be an issue, but it looks like it won't be. But we all know things do change. And again, DB8035, thank you very much for your testing. I'm sure the community itself would love to see some of your stuff if they haven't already. And so without further ado, let me go over what I've got here. If we come down and look here, well, I've got some zombies down here. You can see the old pods where the original bottom half of the iron farm is. Now the kill chamber is still the same. So if you've built yourself an 18 by 18 water pathway, 20 by 20 total, then this will work just fine for you. The normal iron farm designs that you see out there, there are smaller ones. Silentwhisperer did mention it's a 16 by 16 that he's working on, and if you have trouble with them spawning on the outside, there's a lot of comments, and he's responded to those regarding possible areas where they could spawn, like over if the grass, if the ground itself is not it's too close to the spawner. So you can see the pods here. I intentionally left those in so you can see those later on when we go to the other side behind me, and we'll start our conversion. I'll try and speed my way through some of this so it doesn't take up too much time. But anyway, going over this, what I have done is I have added, or left, what the original top used to be, and I'll show you in a minute. And I left a 2-block lip over that and got rid of the rest of the original upper spawning area. Now these guys, I'm still unsure whether that the iron golems are going to spawn within 8 blocks like they do in Java of the villager, or in Bedrock are they going to be doing this 8-block distance in any direction, 16 by 16 around the beds. I'm not sure yet. We're all still kind of iffy about that, but we're learning as we go. Anyway, this pod is a 10 by 10. Now I've got it 6, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've got it 7 blocks high. And if you're wondering why, I have a version I did on for the Java version, which is extremely similar, only it was a 12 by 12. And I mentioned that I put this high enough because if we do get lightning strikes in here and you don't have enough airspace above them, 3 blocks, I believe the correct according to the wiki is that lightning can strike through there and turn your villagers into witches, which is going to be quite a hassle. So anyway, all I've done is expand out from here. I left a 2-block gap, or 2-block lip from the original, and I got rid of the original wall, which you can see here, and I just moved it back. So I've got 8 blocks back, built myself a 1 block up, and then put a slab on top of that and ran my waterways. Now I put 6 blocks in here total, dropped the water bucket in the back once I filled the other water spots, and then that just runs all the way down into the lower half of the original iron farm. So let's go take a look at what we're going to be doing here in a minute, if I can find the right direction. There he is. This is the original iron farm, if you built one in your world. And what I'm going to do is take you through a step-by-step process of changing it into what you saw back there. Here's our pods for the villagers, our doors, and I know that Silent Whisperer had mentioned that they no longer use doors, they use beds. So it's kind of the same concept. You're going to need 10 villagers and 21 beds instead of doors. That's going to be the only difference. So what we're going to try and do here is I'm going to have to go through and get rid of all this water to start. So let me get yourself some blocks that I'm not too concerned about, and we'll drop them in here. Now that we've gotten rid of all the blocks, or the water blocks, we'll go ahead and clean this up a little bit. Okay, now that you've removed all the water blocks, we have a clean canvas to start off with. The first thing I'm going to do is start working my way out and building that extra platform, or extending that platform. We will have to remove the doors, only because I know in Java Edition there's a slight bug where the golems can actually spawn in these spaces here, which is just too high, and they do suffocation damage on the golem, which takes literally a long time for them to die, and it's kind of a waste. So I'm going to replace these doors with blocks. Now that I've gotten rid of the doors, the next step is to extend the platform and also remove a lot of the blocks out of the middle of the platform. Okay, now you notice we've removed this center section. What we're going to do now is build the pod in, and also extend out the platform itself for the spawning pad. Now what I've done is I've gone 2 blocks away from here, and that's where I'll build my 10 by 10. You want to make sure that you do build this out of glass. You don't want anything that's going to be spawnable by any other mob, including iron golems that you only want to spawn in your spawning pads. And they're supposed to spawn up to 6 blocks below them, and I believe it is 1 or 2 blocks above their head, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. If I am, please let me know down in the comment section. I try and get updated with the wiki as often as I can. And what that basically means is they all will spawn below, and they will also spawn on the spawning pads that we're going to be extending here in a moment. I believe we've gone up 7 blocks. That's my target. And we have. I'll speed this through. Just got to enclose this all in now. Okay, once you've got that enclosed, we'll go ahead and add our light sources and build in our roof. Next thing we want to do is add in our beds down in there. Now you only need 21 beds, but I figured I might as well just cover up the entire floor. Now for the Java version of this, if you're going to be doing this, they are going to need workstations, and they are going to need a bell. In Bedrock, they do not need, for some reason or another, they do not need a bell or a workstation. I saw some green particles, so already the villagers that are in those pods are starting to claim their own beds. I know we only need 21, but I figured why not just cover the floor with it. And we only need 10 villagers. What I did do was I went ahead and fed them and got about 10 villagers, or 10 more villagers, because unlike Java, they will breed to 35% of the available beds, whereas Bedrock, according to the wiki, will breed to 100% of the beds. So if you got 30 beds in there, then they're supposed to breed, as long as they have the food and willingness, they will breed to get the rest of the beds covered. Okay, let me go ahead and expand this platform, which means we'll be breaking some things here. You can see we're already starting to get the cats. I'll speed this up until I get it cleared around. Now from here you're going to go out 8 blocks. We've already got 3. So that's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And once you get the 8th block in there, you want to put one more on, and that's going to be your new lip. So I'll go ahead and speed myself all the way around here and be right back. Okay, well, welcome back. What I've done now is, as you can see, if you've extended your platform now, the 2 blocks that were originally part of it, you extend it out to 8, your 9th block being your little lip there. I'm now just finishing the putting the final touches by adding slabs so we don't get any spawns up here, and that'll wrap that up. The next step we're going to be doing is getting our villagers into there, and you're probably saying, how are we going to do that? Well, these guys are already claiming the beds that you saw earlier from the particles. All I'm going to do is give them a little pathway to get there. So we'll set a couple blocks up here. We'll just give them one way to get in, and we'll get rid of these blocks when it's all done. Down in here, break these blocks here. You can see they're showing angry particles. They can't get to their beds. We'll take care of that in just a second. All right, so down here, I'm just going to create a little step for them to come up into. And my testing, I found that they were pretty eager to get up in here. So now with that, they should start moving up, and there they go. So that originally I was going to do a mine cart and just get them all in there, and then from there get them at their into these pods. But as you can see, now that the beds are there, they just run right up there, especially at nighttime like it is right now. So I'm going to get rid of these blocks. We won't need them any longer. Now I'll come back and fix that, because it looks like a couple of them were hanging out at the at that one spot, so I really couldn't cover it. Let's see if I can get in there now. Got in there. And now that it's turned night, I'm pretty sure the other ones will be eager to get up in here as well. So let me create a little pathway for these guys. You definitely want to create a pathway. You don't want them running off onto your build. So I'll give them enough room just to get in there, just in case. Come down in here, take these blocks out. And let's see if they start running up in there. Oh, and I made a mistake. There go the other ones. Let's see if I can give them a path to get in there. You want to go in? Thought I blocked it all off. Guys, I'll be right back so I can get these guys in there. Hold on. Okay, so I got them in there. Oh, I just saw an iron golem drop in there. Unlike the Java version, they're only going to spawn twice a day, because those villagers require, on the Java version, they require they are going to require gossips. Bedrock does not require the gossips, and they don't require the workstations. But if you are building this in the Java version, what you would probably want to do, or what you will need to do, is either on this block or that block, replace the glass block with a workstation. Here in Bedrock we don't need it, but in Java, if you're doing this, you're going to just knock that block out, they can't get through it, and replace that with a workstation all the way around, and a workstation for each one of your villagers. And once you've set the workstation there, it really doesn't matter that they've honed in on the one next to them, because they'll move about. And in Java they require the workstation, the bell, the beds, and they have to sleep. And once they've got that done, then they can spawn those in the afternoon and also in the morning. The iron golems, they can spawn in the morning and the afternoon. I'm going to clean this up a little bit, and then we're going to go ahead and get rid of this and start our waterways. So give me just a moment, I'll get these two sides cleaned up with the old pods, and then we'll set down the water and we should be good to go. Be right back. Okay, and we are back. Those guys are in there. Oops, and I think I see I forgot to put a bed in there. Let me pop in there real quick. There we go. I had to actually remove a bed so he would go in on that side. Now I purposely came back at this point because if you're removing the old pods, you want to make sure you also remove the glass. You don't want glass in this area, otherwise that will become unspawnable by any iron golem. So you want to remove that section of glass in there and fill it with stone. You're going to want to do that with both sides. Alright, so we'll come around to the other side, add our water, and it will be finished. Now in the corners here, I mentioned earlier that you want to put 6 blocks in here, in each corner. Come on, kitty cat, move out of there. Alright, we'll come back for you. Let's see if he's gone, and he's still there. There he goes. I'm not really into the kitty cats dying in the lava, but I'm not the one who did the design. Thanks, dev crew. Some people are probably saying, I hate killing kitties. Okay, so we're going to add water all through here, and you'll see that it will flow nice and even. When you get to these edges, be careful that you don't add one on here. You don't want to add any water there. You're only going to add water in that last black back block. Keep adding your water sources. And all of it should be flowing nice and even into your bottom half of your original iron farm. Last step, just add your water source block there, and then you can break these. You won't need them. And my dog just decided to come in and shake himself. And that, my friends, will do it. That'll convert your old iron farms that aren't working anymore into an iron farm that'll get you the iron that you need. And it wasn't too resource intensive or too difficult, especially moving the villagers. It was extremely easy. Once they honed in on bed, they just moved right up in there. Other than that, there's not much to it. You're going to keep the same spawning platform. Anyway, that's all I have. If you have any questions for me, leave a comment down below. If you liked it, click the like button, thumbs up. If you want to subscribe to future videos, I'm going to do one every week, probably release it on Wednesday. Just some helpful hints. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you on the next one. Goodbye.